So my name is David Sanders, and I'm the CEO of Creative Business Strategies. I've been asked to do a presentation on something exciting, which is how to get more business. I am a survey expert, and one of the things I recently did was to survey this particular group. And I asked, how many people in here, the main thing that they're interested in their business is how to get more business? So I'm going to do that same survey again in present time, and please answer just candidly. How many of you feel like one of the main things you need is more business right now? Okay, so based on that, I put together a presentation for you that will help you with that. And the intended result of the presentation is to have you learn low-cost methods that really work. And in that regard, as I've gone through the consulting business, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients, and I've helped a lot of them make a lot of money, and some of them have even become millionaires. And one of the things that I found out pretty early was that they were out all over the boards. They were trying more stuff than you could think of. And so that when they would come in, I would have them basically bring their marketing stuff. And this is something that you should do yourself. Take all of the stuff that you tried with marketing and put it in one of three piles. Pile number one is the stuff that worked. Pile number two is the stuff that didn't work. And pile number three is we have no clue. And I find most people, pile number three is where most of their stuff ends up. But once you have the stack of what has worked, that has real value. It also has real value to know what flopped, because then you can either not do that again or recognize that you're going to have to change up what it is that you're doing with it. So in doing marketing right, I use the management system, and that has a series of 21 steps that ends in be a high volume success. So we're going to be working today on trying to dial in the first 5 of those 21 steps. And I'll give you some tips, you'll make some notes, but you may come back and revisit some of these things with a little bit more detail to it. The first question is, what should you market? That you should make very full lists of what it is that you can market. What is it that you can sell? You've got a tax specialist, all the different things that you can sell. Home under control, in the construction business, what can you sell? Winston has invented a lot of stuff. All the stuff that he can sell. Make that long list. Dr. Matt, hey, he's got a lot of stuff that he can sell. So you make that as a long list of things. When I got started on this, it was a 3 pages typewritten list. Now comes the real easy part. Out of that whole list, you need to pick one item. Now, how do you pick that one item out of that long list? Now, some people have a relatively easy thing. They say, well, I do fire extinguishers. Okay, yeah, but which kind of fire extinguisher to what kind of public? And even that has a certain amount of picking and choosing. And so there are a couple of things that I recommend as criteria in choosing this. One is, what is a good foot in the door? Because going back to our tax man, an audit before the IRS or before the tax court, well, that's something to sell, but it's not necessarily the greatest foot in the door with most people. Thank goodness. But you want to zero in on something that would be a good introductory service. As an example, for a dentist, one of the ways that we used this really successfully many years ago was that we zeroed in on, for a dentist, you give away practically for $1, $5, something like that. You give an exam, x-ray, and consultation for $5. Good grief. Well, first of all, you got no more excuses not to go to the dentist and check it out. And you look at it from both sides. From the patient side, prospective patient side, they look at, okay, worst case scenario, I'll go in, the staff will be rude, the doctor will be drunk, and I won't want to go back there anymore, but it only cost me $5 and a little bit of time. Okay, it's worth it. On the part of the doctor, he says, what are my hard costs? I don't It doesn't cost me anything till a person comes in. The staff are there anyway. They're just going ahead and putting somebody in the chair. It takes maybe 10 minutes of my time. The x-rays, the little bite wing x-rays maybe cost $1 each. He's got digital equipment. They cost basically nothing. And so what's his out-of-pocket expense? Very little. If he pays a bonus to his staff or something for, maybe that's another $10. But his cost is almost nothing. And what's his potential reward? A new patient in dentistry is worth $2,000 the first year. And so for very little cost, he gets great return. Now there's another angle that you can go at this, which is if you've got a number of services that might be a good foot in the door, how about picking the one that's the most profitable one? Well, that way, if you get some business, at least you make a bunch of money. So that's another way to pick which item you're going to market first. So in terms of our inventor, it might be that that you have great profit margin on a particular water treatment program. Okay, we'll go with that as a foot in the door, if that would be a good way to get introduced to business. Another key point of all this is that you don't want to do what's called shotgun marketing. You don't want to try to market everything that you offer. Oh, I'm a consultant and I can organize things and I can help you promote and I know PR and I also can refer you to a real good guy that'll fix your water. Well, that's shotgun marketing. And if you'll see here the little pie, well, guess what? That's going to be harder to sell because not everybody's going to like all those different things. The next step is find out all about it. Frankly, there are a lot of things to know about different kinds of products, different kinds of marketplaces, and so forth. And if you go in not knowing your product and how it fits in the market and all this kind of stuff, you're likely to be disappointed because there are people in there that have done their homework. And if you haven't, you're at a disadvantage. So I recommend that you get your homework done. And one of that points of marketing homework is your competition. Some people say, I have no competition. Okay, well, maybe that's the case, maybe it's not. But in actual fact, if you're going to really prosper in a marketplace, you have to know your competition. You have to know what they're up to, what their presentation is, and so forth. In the early days, as we were getting into business consulting in Hollywood, we ended up surveying all of the consultants in the Yellow Pages. This was back when Yellow Pages actually existed. People looked at them. But one of the partners had a retail pharmacy chain, and so he called everybody in the book, and they all came out and pitched him. So we started out knowing what their pitch was, how they differentiated themselves, and what they offered, and all that. That's a very good way to know about things. Now, how do you attract people today? Well, marketing is a primary method of attracting people. It divides into internal marketing, which is people that have already done business with you, and what's called external marketing, which is people that have not yet done any business with you. Now, we're going to, for reasons of time, we're going to just zero in on the easiest one of these. Is that all right? It's all right to do easy? All right. Well, what are the most effective and workable internal marketing methods for a company? We're going to actually be asking you all to find out who has tried some of these methods. I'm going to see a raise of hands. Okay, everybody raise your hand real high so they can see and the videographer can get the picture of everybody raising their hand, except he might miss Jack. And then we're going to ask you to keep your hand up if they made you money, if that particular method made you money from your efforts, okay? Okay. So, how many of you have gotten referrals or promoted for referrals or asked for referrals? Okay. And of those that asked for referrals, keep your hands up if that made you money. Okay. Well, we have more hands up than even tried it. So that was even better than expected. Referrals are pretty strong. How about newsletters? How many of you, raise your hands if you've tried newsletters? Okay, so that's 6. Okay, now 7. Raise your hands, keep your hands up if those newsletters made you money. And what I mean by make money, it means like if it costs you $500 to put out your newsletter, and dribbling in one way or another from that, you've made at least $501. So hold your hand up high if you made the money on that. So we had 6 people that have tried it, 4 people made money. That's about 2/3 made money on newsletters. And if you're effective with your newsletters, you know what you're doing, you can push that percentage up. Another thing is letters to your database. And if you don't have a database of people that you've done business with and so forth, that would be an early step, something that you should do. How many of you have sent letters or that kind of thing to your database, even if it's email letters or whatever? So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, how many of you feel like that made you money? 2, 4, 6, 8. So 8 out of 9 found that they made money by sending letters to their database. Now, is this helpful to see what people are doing and what's working? Okay. I'm going to come back a little bit later, and I'm going to tell you what my survey of hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs all over the country have also shown. So you get not just the group here, but also the bigger picture. Okay, how many of you have done postcards and flyers? Raise your hand if you've tried that. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Hold your hands up high if that made you money. Postcards and flyers made money.
Not sure.
Okay, so that's 2.5. Okay, how about special events? How many of you tried special events, one kind or another? Okay, so that's 5. How many of you felt like the special event was money making, it produced? So that's 2 out of 5, about 40%. How about special offers? Come in today, and for day only, we're going to offer this special sales training program or something like that. How many of you have done that? That's 2, 4, 6, 7. All right. Raise your hands high if that made you money. Your special offers were effective. So 5 out of 7. Pretty good. How about telemarketing? Who's done that? Okay. Nobody else get on the phone dialing for dollars? 2. Okay.
A little bit.
2.5. Okay. How many of you made money with your telemarketing? 1. Okay. Then emails. Now, we mentioned earlier letters to database, but what about email blast to anything having to do with internal marketing? How many of you have done some kind of emailing to your clients and that kind of thing? So that's 6, 7. All right. And how many of you feel like that made you money? 7 out of 7. Not bad, huh? What about social media? How many of you in here have been plugging away at social media one way or another? So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, how many of you feel like social media made you money?
Sure.
Actually, add me to that. Make it 9.
Oh, 9? Okay. How many of you made money with social media? 4 out of 9. No, it's 5 out of 9. Okay, it's more than 50%. So would you like to see what actually comes back from the big surveys? Here's what we found, is that with referrals, we recommend that you use all your contacts, whether personal or business contacts, any kind of social or business contacts, and it's a 5-star method of getting business. And there are several different referral programs. One that's worked very well in the past has been what's called the Care Enough to Share referral program. This program is designed to give people your business card and write on the back of it, or have stamped on the back of it, or printed on the back of it once you get it dialed in and you know what works. But you just write on the back of it some offer.